Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is my pleasure to welcome you to Temple Emeth and to our Shabbat Evening Service. It is the first Friday of the month, and so I welcome you to our family Shabbat service here at Temple Emeth and to the Rabbi Louis J. Siegel Sanctuary here in Teaneck, New Jersey. If you are watching us on live stream this evening, I want to say Bruchim Habaim to you. The Siddur that we use on a family service is called Mishkan Tefillah for Youth. And if you have a copy at home, now is the perfect time to bring it to the screen or the device that you're watching us on. If you don't have a copy at home, you can still access one, preferably on a second device, by going to our live stream page at emeth.org/livestream, scrolling down to where it says to access the Siddur prayer book, and then clicking on the link that says Mishkan Tefillah for Youth. Also, if you're joining us on live stream, I hope you'll take a moment right now to post something in the chat or comment section of the live stream platform. It can be your name, your location, something as simple as Shabbat Shalom, because in doing so, then others who are also watching know that you are there, and we create bonds of virtual community in this way. For those of you here in the sanctuary, I want to say Shabbat Shalom to you, and hopefully you have a copy of Mishkan Tefillah that you got as you entered the sanctuary. If you didn't get one, you can go ahead and get one from the shelf right outside the doors so that we can all participate together in our service. I want to welcome back to the Bima someone who really needs no introduction, and that is Amanda Eastman. Today is I guess technically it's the second day of the Cantor sabbatical, but it's the first day that I really notice her absence because I don't see her much on Thursdays anyway, but normally Cantor Tillum would be here. We are entering a new phase of Temple Emeth to see if we can still have a fabulous temple even while Cantor Tillum is on sabbatical, and Amanda Eastman and Thomas Dashio are here to make sure that that is exactly the case. So we are going to begin our service with the lighting of our Shabbat candles. The candle blessing is found in Mishkan Tefillah for Youth on page 4. And to lead us in the lighting of our Shabbat candles, we call upon Ronit Shalom.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we. Be our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
I invite you at this time to turn to page 8 in the Siddur. On page 8, we find our opening song. Please join with Amanda as together we sing Hine Ma Tov.
Hine ma tov ma naim shevatachim gam yachad. Hine ma tov ma naim shevatachim gam yachad. Hine ma tov ma naim shevatachim gam yachad. Hine ma tov ma naim shevatachim
We turn now in our Siddur to page 22. Page 22 has a large purple Hebrew letter, Bet, reading a book. But more importantly, page 22 has our call to prayer. Please rise if you are able as we join together in the Baruch Hu. Standing as we turn to pages 34 and 35. They're the yellow pages with the large blue shin in the middle. And as we turn to pages 34 and 35, we join together in the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Please be seated. We turn now to page 36. Please join with us in chanting Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
We turn now to page 38, where we find Mi Chamocha. Before we sing Mi Chamocha, I just want to direct your attention to the facing page, because the facing page has a large letter Mem, and then it has a number of musical notes. I counted them in advance. There's 12 musical notes. You can count them while I'm talking. And the reason that the artist put 12 musical notes on this page is because our ancestors, the Israelites, were divided into 12 tribes. So there were 12 groupings within the nation, but they were all together when it was time to sing Mi Chamocha. When they left Egypt, when they walked through the Red Sea, when they celebrated their freedom together, they were 12 tribes, but more importantly, they were united as a Jewish people. And so we think of that moment as we sing the same words that they sang. We turn to page 38 for Mi Chamocha.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osei fele, Nora tehilot osei fele, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Malchutecha ra'u banecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze Elianu ve'amru, ze Elianu ve'amru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. V'ne'emar ki pada Adonai et Yaakov, u'kalo mi'ad chazak mimenu, Baruch ata Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
Amen. Is anybody here afraid of the dark? Okay, you don't have to admit it out loud, because I'm just going to guess that many people in this room are afraid of the dark. Our ancestors, by the way, if you go back far enough, they didn't have electricity. They couldn't just flip a light on. They probably had to have a flame and a lamp with fuel in it and things like that. Light was very hard to get at night in ancient days. And so if you think you're afraid of the dark when you can just flip on a light, they were probably more afraid of the dark when they couldn't just flip on the light. And they wrote a prayer that we only say at nighttime, because if they were more afraid at nighttime, maybe they could ask for God's protection with an extra prayer at nighttime. So whatever they were afraid of was addressed in what they asked for. And so at the top of page 43 is an interpretation of this prayer that they wrote. The name of the prayer is the Hashkivenu. You can look and see the word Hashkivenu is in the margin on page 42, and the first word in Hebrew on page 42. But we're going to read the English translation together at the top of page 43. Please join with me. You are with us at all times, God, when we sleep and when we wake. When it is dark, we turn to you for light. When we are afraid, we turn to you for courage. When we feel weak, we turn to you for strength. Be with us tonight and always. Help us to know you are there. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. We turn the page and join together in Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
So we were just singing on page 44. If you look closely at page 44, there was the Hebrew on the right and the transliteration. That was the Hebrew words written out in English letters on the left. But you know, at the Temple Emeth Religious School, we don't use transliteration. It is very hard to learn Hebrew with Hebrew letters if the Hebrew and English letters is always there tempting your eye to sort of move from one side of the page to the other. And so we've been doing this for the first few prayers, but we're actually going to skip a bunch of pages now from page 44 to page 98. How many is that? Carry the one. I think it's 54 pages. Why are we skipping so many pages? Because the next section of Mishkan Tefillah for Youth is more in line with what we practice in the Temple Emeth Religious School. It will have Hebrew and Hebrew letters, but no Hebrew in English letters. If you know a few Hebrew letters, use whatever knowledge you have. And if you don't, listen closely to the words, let the music carry your Hebrew forward, and we'll all know just a little bit more about this prayer when it's over than when it started. Please turn to page 98. On page 98, we find the beginning of the tefillah, and you'll see Hebrew letters and English words, but no Hebrew in English letters. Please rise if you are able for the tefillah.
Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Gula Lifnei V'Neihem, L'ma'an Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer, U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Ezrat Sarah.
Please turn to page 103 as we read our next prayer in English in the orange box. O God, as we remember all you do, we make this promise to try to be like you. We will work to raise up those who fall, heal those who are sick, free those who are in need. As your partners, we will support the poor, feed the hungry, house the homeless, befriend the lonely, and give hope to all people. We will be caring Jews. As you have helped us live better lives, we shall help others. We praise you, O God, who gives meaning to our lives. Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh HaKol. Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to everything. We turn the page now and we read at the top of the page, You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. We turn now in Mishkan Tefillah for Youth to page 114. On page 114 at the top of the page, we join together in a prayer for peace. Grant true and lasting peace to your people Israel, for you are the ruler and source of all peace. May it please you to bless your people Israel with peace always, at every moment and in every hour. Baruch atah Adonai hamivarech et amo Yisrael ba'shalom. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. We take a moment now for silent prayer, the chance to offer to God the prayer of our hearts. It's called Tfilat Halev, and readings to inspire us for this time are found on pages 116 and 117. We continue now with our Torah service, Seder Kriyat Torah, which is found in the Siddur on page 121. This is our Torah. Its words are the same ones that our parents and our grandparents read. In all times and all places, its words never change. May our children and grandchildren, and their children and grandchildren, read its words as well. In this scroll is everything that has made the Jewish people special from Mount Sinai until today. Torah teaches us love and justice, goodness and hope and freedom. Please rise if you are able as we take the Torah from the earth. This week's Torah portion is Parashat Ha'azinu. It is almost at the end of the Torah. And even if you didn't know that Ha'azinu was almost at the end of the Torah, if you knew as little something about our Jewish calendar, you could guess that Ha'azinu is almost at the end of the Torah, because in just over a week, we are going to have the holiday of Simchat Torah. And on Simchat Torah, we get all the way to the end of the Torah, and then we go all the way back to the beginning of the Torah. And if that's happening in just over a week, then you know we're pretty close to the end, even this Shabbat. So, Parashat Ha'azinu is a song, probably. It is definitely a poem, and maybe it's a song. There are two reasons why we don't know for sure that it's a song. Number one is that the same Hebrew word, shirah, means poem and means song. So the word itself doesn't help. Second is, if it was a song with its own melody, the melody has been lost to us. I'm going to chant it, but I'm going to chant it like we chant the whole Torah. It doesn't have a special melody that anybody alive today knows. Maybe someone knew it once, but we don't have it anymore. But also, it's a song that Moses sings to the Israelite people, because Moses knows that they are going to be going on without him very soon, and he wants them to act their best. Now, Moses has been around a long time. Does anyone know how long Moses has been around leading the Israelite people? Any of our students know? All right, well, I'm happy to be the one to tell you that Moses has been leading the people for 40 years. And in those 40 years, there have been good times, but they have disappointed him many times also. And so in this song, he reminds them that they have sometimes been a disappointment, but only so that they will not repeat their mistakes, only so that they will behave their best behavior when they get to their own land, and God will bless them because they have acted in the proper way. Okay, you can follow along as I read from Parashat Ha'azinu out of the large blue Torah commentary book. So we don't need Mishkan Tefillah for Youth for a couple of minutes now. If you'd like to follow along, it's page 1556 in the Torah books that are here in the sanctuary. And if you are watching us on live stream and you have a copy of the revised Torah commentary at home, you can find the same section, Parashat Ha'azinu, on page 1400. And to honor the Torah with the Aliyah, we call upon Pauline Hecht and Tammy Hecht. Okay, we're ready. Oh, we're ready. Nice and loud. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen, amen. Ha'azinu hashamayim va'adabeira, v'tishma ha'aretz imrei fi'i. Ya'arov kamatar likli, tizal katal imrati, kisi'irim ale esev v'chirvivim, kisi'irim ale deshev v'chirvivim ale esev, kishem Adonai ekra, havu godel Eloheinu. Hatzur tamim po'alo ki chol drachav mishpat, el emunah ve'ein avel tzadik vayashar hu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'toheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. This time our thoughts turn to those in need of healing as we prepare to offer a Mishaberach on page 125. If you were watching on live stream and you're thinking of someone in need of healing, you may enter their name in the chat or comment section of the live stream platform. And if you're here in the sanctuary and you are thinking of someone who is sick or in need of healing and you'd like to share their name out loud or in your heart, I invite you to do so. As a congregation, we think of our temple members and their loved ones in need of healing. We'll see their names on the screen in just a moment as we turn now to page 125 and we join together in singing the Mishaberach.
And let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imorteinu mikor habracha liavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We continue now with the lifting and dressing of the Torah. Please rise if you are able for Hagba and Galila.
Bezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. Adonai biyad Moshe. Shalom, 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 shalom. To those who hold fast to it and hold supporters are happy as a tree of life. To those who hold fast to it and hold supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom.
You may be seated unless you have a birthday in the month of October, or you have a birthday in the month of September and you weren't here to celebrate your September birthday. In that case, you shouldn't sit down. You should come on to the bima for a birthday blessing. Statistically speaking, there should be more people coming up on the bima. I mean, it should be 8% of the congregation, right? Because yes? In the winter? Well, we do this every month. So, well, we fudge it in the summer, but the winter months we've got covered, so don't worry. He can come when it's his birthday. All right, so gather around, birthday people. On behalf of your Temple Emeth family, it is my pleasure to wish you a happy birthday and to offer a blessing that your birthday is not just when you are a year older, but a birthday is a time where you can really reflect on the year that has finished in your life and express hopes for the year that is to come. A birthday is a chance to really acknowledge all of the presents in your life, the presents that people might give you because it's your birthday, but also the presence of friends and the presence of family and the presence of God. And so in honor of this big day that you're celebrating this month, it is my pleasure to offer this blessing. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you and keep you. Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka, may God's light shine down upon you and may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's Spirit lift you up, and may God give you shalom, the gift of peace, now and always. And let us say, Amen. So you've all earned a birthday lollipop, which I will hand to you as we join together, first in Hebrew and then in English. Take it away.
Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you,
Happy birthday, dear everyone in October, maybe someone left over from September. Happy birthday
to you.
Birthday people, you can return to your seats. Mazel tov. Well, it is now my pleasure to invite our young people, if you are interested in seeing the pictures of tonight's story, to come have a seat right here. Did you hurt yourself? No. Okay. All right, well, today is Shabbat, but in just 2 days, it will be Sukkot. And so, I brought you a Sukkot story, but I did not bring it from around the corner. I brought you a Sukkot story from the country of Uganda. Does anyone know what continent Uganda is on? There are only 7 continents, so you have a 1 in 7 chance of getting it. That's 14%. Yes, Xander. Africa, yes. Uganda is on the continent of Africa, and this story is about how Sukkot is celebrated among a small Jewish community in Uganda on the continent of Africa. And it is called The Very Best Sukkah, a story from Uganda by Shoshana Nambi. Shoshi, wait for us, calls my brother Avram. As usual, my goat Nabilo and I have beaten all the children to school. I win again, I say proudly. My grandmother is always reminding me that life is not a competition. Jaja, I tell her, it's not like I always have to win the race. I just like being at the front. The view is better there. And so here is the main character of our story, and he is running with his goat to school. I mean, she's running with her goat to school. Let's see. My brothers and I live with our grandparents in a little house surrounded by coffee trees in the Abu Yadaya Jewish community of Uganda. Every Friday, I race home from school to help my Jaja prepare our Shabbat meal. Have you figured out who her Jaja is? Yeah?
I think the grandma.
Yes, it's her grandmother. Prepare our Shabbat meal. It's my job to mix cassava and millet flour to make the dough for the challah bread. Then we cook the challah vegetables and beans on the fire so that they are ready for us to eat when we return home from the synagogue. And there they are preparing their food for Shabbat. As dusk begins to fall, the Jewish families walk to synagogue for Shabbat services. At the synagogue, I sit with my brothers. During his Shabbat talk, the rabbi reminds us that the serious Yom Kippur holiday is over. That's true, the serious Yom Kippur holiday is over. It was 2 days ago. Now it is time to celebrate the Jewish people's journey through the desert to Israel. It is time for Sukkot. My brothers and I smile at each other. Sukkot is our favorite holiday. And there they are smiling because they've been told that Sukkot is very close. When the service is over, everyone gathers on the lawn for Kiddush. My brothers and I lay on the grass and watch the sky fill with stars. We try to count them all. Of course, I can count the highest. So what's the plan for our sukkah this year, asks my little brother David. I tell my brothers about the pile of Nasambaya tree branches that I've been collecting for the roof hut that we will build to celebrate the Sukkot holiday. Good job, Shoshi, says Avram. This year our sukkah is going to be the best in the village. Do you get a sense that everyone in this family is competitive? First, Shoshi had to be the first one to school. Then her brothers say they're going to build the best sukkah. Let's find out. Every year, families compete to create the most beautiful sukkah. People work hard to build and decorate their sukkah, hanging local fruit like bananas, passion fruits, mangoes, pineapples, and jackfruits. By the end of the 7-day Sukkot celebration, the whole village smells like sweet, ripening fruit. All week long, people take turns visiting one another and eating in their neighbors' sukkahs. And there it is. It looks like a very colorful patchwork of fields and houses in this area. Each sukkah looks different, and each one reflects its builder's special skills and talents. Dina is the school's art teacher. Her family's sukkah is decorated with her students' colorful artwork. Nalango, the mother of twins and the village seamstress, has sewn beautiful curtains and pillows for her family's sukkah. And Moshe has a sukkah filled with bowls of brightly colored fruits and vegetables from his own bountiful garden. He even has a dish of roasted groundnuts for people to sample as they walk by. Yum. So do you see the different styles of the different Sukkot? Each one thinks they're building the best. All year long, Daudi and his daughter Rebecca sell delicious samosas at a stand in the village. Daudi has saved his money to buy fancy battery-operated lights and elegant crochet trim in the big town of Mubali to decorate his sukkah. That's not fair, complained Sarah. I spent weeks crocheting and Daudi just went into the store and bought everything. How can I compete with flashing lights, said Yonatan. Daudi will definitely win the contest this year, Isaac exclaims. It makes me sad to hear everyone so upset. And there he is, hanging his bright, sparkly lights powered by batteries. Avram, David, and I put the finishing touches on our sukkah. We all agree that we might not have Daudi's fancy decorations. This is still the best sukkah we've ever built. Tomorrow is the first day of Sukkot. The rabbi will make his big walk and choose the most beautiful sukkah. I hope he chooses ours. I'm worried about that goat. It looks like that goat is going to eat something and pull the whole sukkah down. Do you all see the goat eating that? Yes, do you see the goat?
Yes, I know that goats sometimes eat food.
Goats are famous for eating almost anything. But before the big walk, the rabbi gives us his big talk under the mango tree. The rabbi tells us that we can compete and still feel kindness toward each other. He reminds us that the value of the sukkah competition in our community is to bring people together to admire and appreciate the beauty, creativity, and talents of our friends and families. During Sukkot, we remember the Jewish people's journey through the desert to Israel. Like those ancient Jews, we must also work together as a community. In my heart, I agree with the rabbi, but I still want our sukkah to be chosen. Do you think we will win, Jaja? I ask as she tucks me into bed that night. Shoshi, you and your brothers made the best sukkah you've ever built. I think you've already won. Jaja's right, as usual, and I give her hand a little squeeze. So there's the rabbi talking to everybody under the mango tree, and there's Jaja tucking Shoshi into bed, reminding her that she's already won. Crack, boom! I awake in the darkness to the sound of thunder and the roar of the rain pounding on the metal roof. I hear my poor little Nabilo crying, and I race outside to comfort her. The wind and rain beat against the goat's pen as we snuggle up to each other and finally doze off. Does anyone here let their pet sleep in bed with them? Anybody? Anybody? Well, yeah, we knew you, Pauline. I do not recommend it. I have personal experience and a lot of little bruises, paw-shaped bruises over here to prove it. Okay, but I digress. The goat and the girl snuggled, but we're up to the next morning. In the morning, the sun is shining, but the storm was very destructive, and many of the villagers' sukkahs are damaged. Avram, David, and I are able to make the repairs to our own sukkah easily, but not everyone is so lucky. Daudi's sukkah is totally destroyed. The battery-operated lights are smashed, and the elegant crochet decorations are tangled beyond repair. People in the village begin to talk. They feel bad because yesterday they spoke harshly about Daudi's decorations, and now his sukkah is ruined. My brothers and I feel bad for Daudi and Rebecca as well. We could probably spare some Nasambaya tree branches, suggests Avram. And so there they are. The sukkah's ruined. They look pretty upset. When we bring our branches to Daudi and Rebecca's house, we find a big crowd of villagers. Everybody has something to share. Dina has some of her students' artwork. Nalongo brings some pillows, and Moshe brings a dish of roasted groundnuts. The entire village works together to help fix Daudi and Rebecca's sukkah. Daudi passes out his delicious samosas as a snack, and everyone starts singing, Hine Matov, how sweet it is and good it is when we sit together. Of course, I sing the loudest. Yes?
It doesn't matter who wins. They don't get anything.
It doesn't matter who wins. Wait, it doesn't matter who wins because there's no prize, or it doesn't matter who wins because they're all winners building their own sukkot? Both. Okay. Yes, did you want to say something about the story? Okay, then let us turn the page and find out, because there were a lot of sukkot in the village until the big storm. Now everybody brought something special to the one sukkah. Finally, Daudi and Rebecca's sukkah is repaired, and we all admire our handiwork. There are bits and pieces of every villager built into the repaired sukkah. It is a little mismatched, but everyone thinks this makes it even more beautiful. And the rabbi agrees. Daudi and Rebecca's sukkah has won. The rabbi holds up the lulav and the etrog, the important Sukkot holiday symbols. He shows us how the lulav is made with 3 different types of branches bound together. The many different people in our community are bound together in the same way. So there is the rabbi. If you have not seen a lulav and an etrog up close, you will get to see one on Sunday night at the Sukkot service. And you'll get to see it, you'll get to touch it, you'll get to smell it, and you get to celebrate Sukkot in that way. Are you sad that your sukkah didn't win the contest, Shoshi? Asks Jaja as she tucks me into bed that night. But I did win. We all won. Everyone helped rebuild Daudi and Rebecca's sukkah, so everyone won the contest. And as I start to doze off, I feel Jaja give my hand a little squeeze. And there are Shoshi and Jaja falling asleep. I far recommend falling asleep with your grandmother than falling asleep with your goat, but that's, personal preference, I guess. And this is the end of our story called The Very Best Sukkah, a story from Uganda. I hope you enjoyed the story. So kids, if you are in Eitz Chaim, you don't have to go back to your seats. If you are in Eitz Chaim, I'm going to get out of the way, and you can come stand right here on the steps as we prepare for you to sing as part of our service. Eitz Chaim members, come on up.
Sing along with him, and if you don't know the words, just sing the amens, okay? You there? You got it.
So this is the first time I think Eitz Chaim has ever sung without Cantor Tillam, but they have been preparing for this moment, so we have a strong team of Tom Mustachio, our accompanist, and Emma Foyer, our teen advisor to Eitz Chaim, and Amanda Eastman is going to sing the main part of the song as Eitz Chaim sings the amens. For the holidays, we sing Shechianu to begin a holiday officially. But rabbis sing Shechianu when the holiday is over. And so in honor of the High Holy Days being over, in honor of us getting ready for our next special moment, which is Sukkot, and in honor of the first ever time that we have other helpers conducting Eitz Chaim without Cantor Tillam, I present Eitz Chaim and Amanda to lead us in Shechianu. Excellent job, Yasher Koach. Thank you, and Yasher Koach to our sweet singers from Eitz Chaim. Kids, you can return to your seats in the sanctuary. And at this time, we are going to continue our service with the Aleinu. The Aleinu is found in Mishkan Tefillah for Youth on page 130. And we rise, if we are able, for the Aleinu. Please be seated. We continue now with a reading to introduce the Mourner's Kaddish. The reading is found on page 132. As our service ends, we think about people whose lives have ended. Some of them we knew and they were very special to us. We loved them and we missed them very much. Others we did not know, but we honor them as well. This Shabbat, we remember those for whom we are in the Shloshim, 30-day period of mourning. Frida Fisher, remembered by Temple Emeth. Alice Rubin, mother of Jamie Rubin. Gary Janae, brother of Bruce Janae and brother-in-law of Barbara Finkelstein. And Michael Goodman, a member of Temple Emeth and father of Danielle Foyer. We remember as well those whose yard sites occurred this week. Lydia Adler, Samuel Becker, Joyce Rosenberg Becker, Naomi Berman, Alvin Breslow, Saul Bresnick, Sidney Broder, Edith Siegel-Dickstein, Richard Fisher, Herman Fleischman, Irma Goldberg-Klein, Bessie Goodman, Abraham Haber, Dorothy Haber, Jerome Haber, Matilda Handler, Rita Hantman, Sarah Hirsch, Max Hirschfelder, Amelia Kahn, Peter Kelly, Samuel Klein, Mary Kopoloff, Michael H. Lieb, Anna Levenstein, Samuel Levin, Joseph Lieberman, John T. Lupatin, Alexis Melanie Moros, Saul Paul, Jeanette Rellis, Justin Rolfe, Joseph Sanders, Faye Staffen, Moses Sulzer, James Clinton Taylor, Elise Wasserman, Martin Wieselberg, Reuben Weisbard, and Pearl Winters. And we remember the names of 6 of the 6 million who perished in the Holocaust: Thomas Eisendorfer, Paul Eisendorfer, Abba Einbinder, Therese Eilenberg, Marcelli Eggert, and Chaya Edelman. We remember them all. We take them into our hearts with our own as we turn now in our Siddur to page 134. And please rise if you are able as together we recite the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, Ba'agala v'yizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mivorach leolam ulomei almaya, Yitzbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal Shemei d'kudsha b'rechu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, Amen. Please be seated. It is my pleasure at this time to call upon Alan Winters, a member of our Board of Trustees, to offer Shabbat greetings and announcements.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees, it's my pleasure to welcome you to our family Shabbat service. We look forward to seeing everyone in person and online for Sukkot. Religious school families who registered for pizza in the hut are reminded to join us in the Temple Emeth Sukkah this Sunday evening at 5:30. Our annual every Erev Sukkot and Broshate beginning services will be held afterward in person and on live stream, starting at 6:15 p.m. Sunday. Stay for a post-service oneg. Our friends at Temple Sinai in Tenafly will soon will host a collaborative festive morning service in person and on Zoom starting at 10:30 a.m. Monday. Those who attend in person are invited to enjoy Kiddush lunch in the Temple Sinai Sukkah. All ages are invited to this event. COVID vaccines are not required to attend. Be sure to read this week's email for links to both online services. Looking forward, Temple Emeth invites you to our annual Rabbi Joshua Trachtenberg Memorial Lecture to be held this year on Friday, October 14th. Professor Lisa M. Leff will tell the story of Zosa Szakowski, a Polish-born Jewish historian who took Jewish documents from France in the 1940s and 50s and moved them to New York. A Shabbat dinner will precede the program at 6 o'clock p.m. The next Biachad breakfast is on Sunday, October 23rd, and features the film 50 Children, the rescue mission of Mr. and Mrs. Krauss, about the heroic rescue of Jewish children from Nazi Germany. The film is presented in conjunction with our One Book, One Synagogue book, The Book of Lost Names by Christian Harmel. If you haven't done so already, the Strategic Planning Committee encourages you to complete the questionnaire that can be found on our website. Turn over. Any time is a great time to join our adult choir. There's no audition. You just have to want to make music. Contact Carol Shansky for more information. Finally, the Paul S. Lazar Caring Committee is looking for volunteers. Please pick up and complete the volunteer card, which is available in the temple hallway and also in the September bulletin, to let us know how you can help. Thank you to this evening's volunteers in the live stream control room. Nikki and Doug Falk are at the controls this evening. Shabbat Shalom.
So I'd like to take a moment to thank Eitz Chaim. It's a busy season for rabbis, and it's also a busy season for Jewish junior choirs, because they sang on Yom Kippur. They sang tonight. You guys are singing again in 2 days on Sunday night for Sukkot, 6:15. Unless you're coming for Pizza in the Hut, then it's 5:30. And you guys are singing a week after that at Simchat Torah. It's a lot of singing. You guys are fabulous. We know you'll do a good job, but you know how you get better at anything? You practice. And so we're going to ask our Eitz Chaim singers to stick around for a couple of minutes after the service, and Tom is going to lead us in a short rehearsal so that we can get our Sukkot music down and make sure that it sounds wonderful. Don't worry, there will still be junk food at the Oneg waiting for you even after the rehearsal. Fear not. Okay. And by the way, if you're watching on live stream, post something nice about Eitz Chaim in the chat or comment section of the live stream platform, or post something nice about Amanda Eastman, who led us in the singing, or about Emma Foyer, the teen advisor to Eitz Chaim, or about Tom Mustachio, our fabulous accompanist. And now you guys can come over, and we're going to continue our service with the Kiddush for Shabbat evening. That is found on page, where'd it go? 6. And so you can turn to page 6. I'd like to invite all of our young people up on the bima so you can have a little cup of grape juice and a piece of challah. Okay, so you guys walk all the way to the middle. Otherwise they're going to swarm you over on the side, and that's not good for anyone. Yeah. Okay, but you're going to stand right in the middle here. Here's your Kiddush. There's your first line. And before you read the first line of Hebrew, is your 4 lines of English right there. Okay, we continue now with the Kiddush. Please rise if you are able for the Kiddush. And for the honor of leading us in Kiddush, we call upon Joseph Shalom.
Like wine, Shabbat is sweet. We lift this cup to celebrate the love of family and the joy of living. We sing the Kiddush and taste the wine to remind us that Shabbat is a day of sweetness and love. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagefen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila l'mikrei kodesh, zeicher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'charta v'yatanu kidashta mikol amim, v'shabbat kodshecha b'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
L'chaim. So it's a new year, so I guess I should start the new year here by saying, the grape juice gets drunk at Kiddush, and the challah gets eaten only after we say the motzi, which is now. We join together in the motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
as we conclude our service, we turn to one another and say, Shabbat Shalom. How'd it taste?